Varsity Club, welcome back to another classic. After a big recruiting week in the previous week, we have another good one this week. CJ Sandin and Darius Richardson are both committed. Two corners to help us out on defense going into next year and the years later. And while there's a lot of players that I want to talk about, I want to talk to you guys specifically about Fullwood, the player, not you get it. I was doing some late recruiting because we ultimately had some guys that we signed, so it freed up some recruiting points, and we found this dude. Warren has +8 overall. He's an absolute gem. 95 speed, 95 acceleration. Yeah, that's great, but there's more. 92 man coverage, 83 zone coverage, 82 press. But wait, there's more. I'm literally moving my camera so you can see this. This dude has 95 spin move and 96 elusiveness, 95 throw power, 81 throw accuracy. I'm sending the farm. Now look, we're pretty late in the recruiting game. He's about 51% locked at this point. South Alabama's ultimately leading, but the good news is not a single school has offered this dude a scholarship. Hey, we coming in hot. We're going to recruit this dude hyper aggressively and just hoping this last 49% we can make headway and we can ultimately find our way to give this dude a visit and make him really want to come to Cascade Valley because he might be the starter next season. And I think honestly, good news as well, our recruiting class is still sitting in the top 10. Only 7 people we've ultimately signed at this point, with plenty more that are really on the bubble and really on the edge of coming here. But with our last 2 recruits we got, we are pushing still in the top 10, which I'm not mad. Stay in the top 10 and we're good. But real talk, who had Boise State on their bingo card as being the #1 team recruiting in the nation right now? Who wants to go to Boise State? It's middle of nowhere. But hats off to Boise State and LSU, who are ranked #2 and #1 respectively in the nation. LSU, obviously with Chris Moore, is doing very well. We moved from #1 to #3, which I feel is a little bit disrespectful considering we beat a top 20 team. LSU only beat Rutgers, but you know what? They're going to slide us a little bit. We'll figure it out. We also don't have one single top 10 vote. UNC over us? I'm gonna chill. Georgia and Florida State are both sitting there at 5 and 6. You can see Clemson's back a little bit in the top 8. Michigan moved from 12 to 10. We see Air Force at 18. Pittsburgh falls back a little bit. CMU, Penn State both sit tight at 24 and 25. But something interesting happened. We had no one on the Heisman list at all this season, but all of a sudden, while Eric Scott is sitting in the top spot, our guy Sean Stewart finally getting the recognition that he deserved. 160 and 4 touchdowns last week, along with 25 yards through the air. This dude is getting the respect that he's ultimately deserving. I'm going to be perfectly honest, these might be the most questionable uniforms we've ever had in Cascade Valley. What do you think about the combo? You like it? You hate it? Should we retire these combo forever? Probably. But you tell me in the comments. Look, as much as we want to, talk about what Patrick McDonald was not doing at the beginning of the season, what he did last week was just nothing short of amazing. He comes in and goes 10 of 10, and now he's out here fighting RJ Riley, who's having a little bit of a resurgence. Beautiful ball thrown by McDonald there. We're going right back to the run game. Sean Stewart can't really find much here. Only gets 2. Little 2nd and 8 here. McDonald has some time, throws one, and probably should have thrown it about 10 seconds earlier. Big 3rd down and 8 here. McDonald's going to drop back. Got his halfback coming out. Sean Stewart has been great in the receiving game, but there's really no room for him to go here. Gets to the line, and that's it. We're punting. Now, a fantastic punt by Barnes puts Illinois in not in great field position at this point. Look, but we know this team knows a whole lot about us. We know a whole lot about them. Our former coach went over and thought he's going to do something nice, and so far, his quarterback got a nice little 23-yard run, but we're not letting him beat us today. I don't really know what coverage was going on there, so we switched things up because, good Lord, our man defense was not even close to being running properly. And Fry and company are going to try to make sure this quarterback stops running. Dunbar is highly recruited coming out of high school. This dude is a guy that can definitely put some points on the board. But we got some dudes that are trying to make sure they don't put points on the board. Illinois hasn't really shown us anything in the passing game. It's been all runs. QB runs that weren't designed, halfback runs that were designed, and a big hit right there. Make sure that quarterback knows we coming for him. 2nd and 10. We got a 5-game home streak for wins. We'd love to see that. We want to keep that going. We at one point had won significantly more, but it's been a long time. And oh my God, you got to be kidding me. We talk about the passing game, and then Ja'Cory Powell goes 39 yards. Illinois looking great right now. We had a little cover 2 defense called, and good Lord, was it the wrong coverage to call at that point. Little play action fake. Quarterback running around, and that ball goes off Matthew Fowler. You got to make that pick. Inside, good scoring territory. The moment they go with the halfback run, he flips it immediately. He saw the dude coming and said, I don't want any parts of that. It's like Butler actually could have been injured in that play. We're not going to see him in for this one. It's like Dorsey's going to be coming in for Illinois. Quarterback looking for a halfback screen of some sort. Doesn't really know what he's doing here. They got linemen all over the place. We got no pressure on their quarterback. We got a couple of guys. Corey Brown trying to get there. Multiple guys there. And look at this. Tom Baker playing in coverage. You know he can do it. He plays offense. He plays defense. He plays the special teams. And he's great at it. Tom Baker's a special player, man. And it really makes me sad that he didn't really get the chance to shine probably the way that he could have. But that dude has stepped up so many times with this school that it's incredible. Stewart does give us a little bit of breathing room, though, so we're going with a read option. It's going to be a keeper here for McDonald, who doesn't really do much back to the line. That's all. Our offense has definitely been pedestrian at best today. We've got to just do better, in my opinion. But look at McDonald finding guys, and it's RJ Riley again for his second grab of the game. This receiving core has had an insane amount of promise and honestly should be more productive than what they've been over the course of their career. But you can argue there's been some quarterback issues that have made that a little difficult, but it don't matter. It's look at Sean Stewart over the shoulder. McDonald threw it up, and God bless America, Stewart caught it. That play just speaks volumes to what Sean Stewart has meant for this program this season. Between the injuries we've had for literally everybody, that dude has just found ways to be available and make sure he's productive. Big play here for McDonald. Little play action. Doesn't like what he sees, and good Lord, couldn't get rid of it in time. It's a loss of 16. I'm gonna be perfectly honest, 2nd and 26, something you should probably never see for a football team, but here we are. Make it 3rd and 26 as well. We're approaching 3rd down in so many yards that I think I'm having a slight midlife crisis over. 3rd and 26. What can we do? McDonald's out here rolling. Got a guy, throws it. That's going to make things a little bit more easy. We see Tom Baker pick up 15, but 4th and 10, we're honestly still punting. A super long drive that had some fantastic moments that honestly also had some terrible ones as well. We'll do better. McDonald again still working sort of the rust off. But Bernard Harvey said, I ain't got no rust on me. This man has had an opportunity and he has ran with it. Literally and figuratively. Another pick, back-to-back weeks. I see you. The absence of Mike Hemphill has left a major hole in this defense, and no one person is going to fill that just on their own. I mean, Hemphill is the all-time interception leader for the squad. But what Bernard Harvey has continued to do in his absence is just absolutely phenomenal. A hard hitter, a dude that's out here making plays, getting interceptions. He's helping this defense out when they need him the most. Big opportunity here for McDonald. He's dropping back. Sees this guy. Oh my God, what an interception by McKenzie. I'm not even mad at that one. That was absolutely disgusting. Illinois is out here. That's a throw that we ultimately feel like we can make. McDonald puts it a little bit too low, and that one becomes a nasty SportsCenter highlight for Illinois and not for us. 2nd and 5, first quarter's winding down. No team has scored today, which is a bit of a nightmare. But TJ Dunbar is getting lit up on these runs. He can't be doing that too much. I think one of the toughest things we've had this season is that we really haven't had the same starting lineup week after week. It's been some major change at some point with a major injury here or there, or just guys being banged up during a game. It's been tough. And if we can somehow win out the rest of the season and make the college football playoffs, we're going to see Joe Kendrick come, oh my God, Joe Kendrick come back, and will we start him or not? And that's going to be another question we have to ask. Big 3rd and 3 here. What's Dunbar going to do? He goes to the halfback draw. We got guys there, but we just can't get to the running back, and Hill is still pushing forward for 14. Switching back to a 4-man front. We need something to be a little bit better, I think, in terms of the offensive lines getting way too much push down the field. We've got to find a way to stop that, but it doesn't matter when we've got dudes just getting shelled in coverage, and Illinois strikes first. Thomas Parker beginning the 2nd quarter. He's got Illinois up here. Iowa was such a big game last week that I think was an emotional toll on this team, just figuring out how they could ultimately come out there and get a W. We go through all that just to be out here struggling against Illinois, a 1-3 team. This should not even be a game. 2nd down, 6 yards to go. Donald's out here. This man's rolling. Call him Limp Bizkit because this man is moving and he's going to get down after 9. Right back here to the run game. Sean Stewart up the middle. He's having to feint around a little bit because Illinois is locking him up. They're forcing us to pass the football to be productive. I mean, Sean Stewart is a guy that for his career averages well over 5 yards per carry, and today he's at 3.7 yards per carry. It's been a rough one for him. McDonald, though, is able to find some major room, and we're going to get down before he gets lit up. Still right in this game, though. McDonald's going to drop back. Sees this guy Willis wide open. Willis making a guy try to miss, and he goes down after 11. Interceptions have definitely been, I think, one thing that people want to hate on McDonald for, and I get it. There is some lack of vision a little bit here and there, but overall, he's been solid. I mean, think back to when John McConnell was the quarterback for this team as a freshman. There were issues there, but that dude still became one of the best quarterbacks, not in just CVU history, but in college football history. And look at Williams up the middle. So I want to be one of the best running backs out here with 14. All things considered, though, next year is going to be interesting between McDonald coming back. Does he stay a quarterback? Does he go to halfback like some people wanted him to ultimately be before the season? What happens with Kendrick? What happens with all these recruits we have coming in potentially that could play quarterback? There are a lot of questions to answer. We've got some dudes redshirted as well that can continue to quarterback or continue to be incredible there. So I think there's going to be some position swaps or changes, but ultimately we're going to have somebody next year that can throw the football a lot further than what we've been throwing it this season, and that's going to be exciting. Illinois got a little bit of pressure now. Can they answer back after what was a fantastic drive? Can they put points on the board yet again? And George Fry saying, let me get at that backfield a little bit more. 2nd down to 7 here. Dunbar again stays in shotgun. They've been there pretty much all game long. They go with a little quick out route. Parker has just been tough to tackle, but Stephen Lowe delivers a huge blow. Dunbar again, multiple guys in the backfield this time. little bit of an option play. We've honestly struggled with that a little bit this season, but we just got to make sure they can punt it for once. They've been driving down the field. Playing the pass there in 2nd and 6. Butler in the backfield again. They go to him this time. He's going to be close out of bounds, and he does go out of bounds and loses 2. Dunbar's thrown 2 picks today. We'd love to see a 3rd one here, or at least thrown an incomplete pass. Butler slides out to the right-hand side. Got to watch the halfback wheel. They go to the sideline, and it's Parker who's been killing us today. Dunbar, despite 2 interceptions today, has just been elite. He's found guys. He's been running the football down our throats. He's just been a problem today, but look at Kendall Owens get him for a sack here. Fry getting the crowd hype a little bit on the play back here in zone coverage again. They go underneath. We got multiple guys there ready. Big opportunity for the defense. Can we finally get a little bit of a stop here? Keep them out of the 1st down area. We got guys there, and Shackelford's going to get the big stop. Gain of 2, but not enough for the 1st. Nothing has really come easy today. Illinois has just been finding ways to get in the backfield and be an absolute problem. But so is Anthony Minor today. He's been an absolute problem for that secondary. Patrick McDonald again. Keeping things moving a little bit. Does feel a little bit of pressure. Throws one back across. It's Mr. Tom Baker just making some moves, and no CDE on this one. A great reception for 14. Plenty of room here to keep things moving. Another 1st down. Stewart again, just trying to find some lanes, but Illinois is clogging up the running lanes. They want us to beat him through the air. Back in shotgun. Tom Baker. Got him moving. Tom Baker breaking ankles like he's used to. Tom Baker looking great inside the 20. 1st down. 1st down's winding here a little bit. Little check down opportunity. Sean Stewart's going to get almost the 1st down. Picks up almost what he needs. We'll take our 1st time out. 36 seconds on the clock. McDonald ready to go. Sees this guy, flows it in. It's Tom Baker having a bit of a resurgence here. Looking like the young Tom Baker, the old Tom Baker, the Tom Baker we've been missing. Now, Illinois did have the ball. They worked their way down the field, and they found themselves in somewhat of field goal range. Tom Baker, though, is going to drive back a little bit. Might have an opportunity to return it. It is a little bit of a deep field goal. Can they have enough leg on it? This one's going to be close. This one, they say, is no good. So they drive to the field. They get in field goal range. They can't hit it. Now, Iowa, who we just beat last week, is in a tough game against Maryland with the 3rd quarter going on. But going into halftime for us, it's going to be 14-7. Again, a big missed field goal from Illinois. Might make things a whole lot more difficult come the 2nd half. Now, Illinois had the ball, started the 2nd half, but they didn't really do anything with it. A quick 3 and out. So here we are with Sean Stewart finally getting some blocking. And good Lord, look at what he's doing. Sean Stewart, a shoestring tackle away from being done. The number 1 on ESPN. Sean Stewart's putting the country on notice. He's a Heisman candidate for a reason. It's showing it here today. Big pressure here. Tom Baker breaking a tackle. Tom Baker saying, hold on a second. Tom Baker trying to get himself on SportsCenter. What a play. Where's this been? That play should have stopped 15 yards prior, but Tom Baker says, nah, not today. I'm going to get these yards for this squad right now. Unbelievable there. Stewart gets a little halfback toss here, finds a little bit of room, cuts back up, nearly gets what he needs, but only gets 2. Back here with Williams. Williams comes right back up the middle, gets immediately met in the backfield and goes nowhere. Williams back in the game, 3rd and goal. Little halfback screen. The guy gets flattened, and Williams goes right in there. That dude knows what to do once he gets the ball in his hands. And the wide receiver, who also plays a little bit of halfback, call him Cordero Patterson. He's a weapon. That was the drive we needed to start this half. We needed to put a little bit of pressure on Illinois and show, you know what, you're not as good as you think you might be. Now, we had a guy in the backfield with Stephen Lowe, but he couldn't quite get what he needed until Fry stopped Butler. 2nd and 5. They're trying to keep the pressure going. They're almost to midfield. They go with a little bit of a misdirect here in the halfback. And DeMel Hill's going to stand him right up. 5 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. We're trying to get some pressure in the backfield, but these halfback just misdirects are unbelievably effective. 18 more yards for Butler, who's having a fantastic game. Butler hasn't been in the end zone today, but he's having a really good game. 6.5 yards per carry. He's been an absolute problem. And George Fry says it's about time that stops. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right-hand side this time. Fry doing a little bit of coverage. This man's not too bad in coverage, but he sees the quarterback and he delivers another big hit on Dunbar. I'm telling you right now, if Fry hits Dunbar a few more times like that, they're going to be calling that man Theraflu. He's going to be causing some coughs to happen. Or not. They're just going to run right down our throat. Never mind. Illinois is answering right back the way they needed to start the half. They ultimately couldn't do it, but right now they're looking a whole lot better. Trying to get some pressure on this quarterback. He's trying to go by, and look who's there. Fry and company stop him. When they start doing the awards and listing out who should be linebacker of the year, I better see George Fry's name on there. 7 tackles, 1 sack already, and plenty of time left to go in this game. He has been big in every single game we've needed him to, and he's going to get another one here. Drops him for back-to-back sacks. Illinois has been really effective on 3rd down, getting about 50% of them. This is a big one for him. Can they get what they need? They go back across, but what an absolute heck of a play by Matthew Fowler disrupting that. And the last field goal they attempted ultimately didn't end up going their way. It was a 51-yarder. This one, a whole lot closer. This one's up. This one is down the middle, and it is a perfectly kicked ball, cutting the lead from 21-7 to 21-10. And now we're going to see that Iowa is down with the third quarter pretty much ending. They're down 4 points to Maryland. Now, as funny as it is that Iowa is ultimately potentially in a really bad spot, we need them to win, because the stronger their ranking is, the better it looks for us when we try to get our way back into that top, ultimate spot. McDonald, a lot of time here, throws a dot to RJ Riley, who lays out and gets 21 yards because of it. McDonald, 15 of 18, 241 yards, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Yes, the interception was terrible. You don't like seeing that, but what he's done since then has just been electric. Fertney's out here moving. Fertney out here goes and gets the ball, and look at the big fella. He's only a freshman, and I cannot wait to see what he does starting next season. Sean Stewart, though, wishing to get the ball back. Going to see Miner slide over to help out a little bit with the blitz pickup. Sean Stewart tries to go through the middle, but there's a lot of white hats and white shirts ready for him. 2 minutes left here in the third. Donald sees his guy underneath, and it's RJ Riley. RJ Riley showing off the wheels, and he's nearly in the end zone 26 yards later. This is the receiving core finally having an offense getting them the ball. First and goal, McDonald, only guy in the backfield. Sees his guy is Jeremy Willis. Willis has it and then coughs it up. Little second and goal action here. McDonald slides under center. He's rolling around. He's got him moving. He flips one over, and George Barrett. Did you have that in your bingo card? Did you have a George Barrett touchdown? You probably didn't. Look, I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. Draft George Barrett in the first round. Guaranteed Lombardi trophy. Guaranteed. Huge stop there in the backfield. You'd love to see that. We got a 2nd and 12 now because of it. Lowe bringing a little bit of heat coming off the end zone is James Mitchell. Mitchell gets a sack. That is 3 sacks in the past 5 or 6 plays we've had. This is the defense stepping up. Feels like it's been a long time, though, since they've actually had a 3rd down conversion. We're 3 for 7 on the afternoon after being 3 for 4 earlier. They go for a check down here. Fry is there, and it's a big hit to stop him from doing just that. 9 tackles, 2 sacks for George Fry. Unbelievable talent. And we got him for a few more years. Tom Baker back here to go ahead and see if he can return one. This is the dude who still thinks he has an outside shot at getting on the Heisman list. Tom Baker flashing the speed to the left-hand side. He gets tripped up, and that was a great 22-yard return for him there. Third quarter's winding down. McDonald and Stewart trying to find that running room again. It's been few and far between with some big runs here and there. Solid little lead here. We're trying to extend that. Maybe some backups. Ultimately get a little bit of time to shine today. But right now we're focused on Sean Stewart trying to get over that century mark to keep that Heisman pace going. First down again. McDonald, the only guy in the backfield. Feels some pretty immediate pressure there. He's got a guy going deep. He throws one. It's going to be Williams, and Williams is out at what looks to be the 2-yard line. What a catch, but you got to stretch a little bit further. 300-plus yards for Patrick McDonald right now through the air is just incredible. Yes, the interception sucks, but what he's done since then, nothing short of amazing. And Sean Stewart actually got stood up at the goal line. What year is this? Stewart looking for his 2nd rushing touchdown in the game. Feels like he has a good opportunity for it right here. Good carry, he gets hit, he falls, and they say he's in. Doesn't matter how ugly or pretty the touchdown is, all that matters is that it counts. And it did. The league continues to grow right now, and the confidence of this team is just through the roof. They go with a little halfback screen. Thought we possibly had something there to stop it, but we don't, and Corey Brown stops him after 3. Second down here, Dunbar, the only guy in the backfield. Fry trying his best to get to him. He can. They throw it over here to the shallow flats. We see, looks like Parker goes down after about 5. Playing the pass heavy. Big 3rd down again. Illinois struggling on 3rd downs, especially this half. They go for a halfback screen, and Corey Brown is having none of it. What a deflection by the defensive tackle. The last thing I want to be doing right now from Illinois is punting the ball to Tom Baker. The confidence this dude has right now is just meteoric. Baker hits into his own guy, and if he doesn't, I think that speed is going to be enough to get him what looks to be 20 or 30 yards. I mean, think about what Tom Baker has done today. The receiving touchdown, the interception, great punt returns. This dude is really doing it all for the squad. You love to see it. McDonald feeling immediate pressure, throws one in a little bit of a dicey situation, and that one is dropped. Second out here, McDonald back under center, slides Baker over a little bit. See him moving, looking for his guy. He dumps it, and Baker picks up 9. 3rd and 9, you know what time it is. Going to get the ball right back to Stewart, see what he can do up the middle. Another conversion for him. Donald and company just pushing the tempo on the passing game. It's been so good today. McDonald sees his guy a little bit late. It's Jeremy Willis, and Willis was up the sidelines for a few extra yards. I genuinely can't remember the last time we had 350 passing yards from a quarterback, and it just felt this smooth. McDonald, for his faults, he's delivering today. Sean Stewart goes over 100 yards on the afternoon with that run. And the beauty of his performance today, he really lets defenses know you might try to stop us, but it's okay. Just kidding. Just wait for the interception. It'll happen no matter what. It'll happen. We're not in danger of losing the game, but we spoke a little too soon, got a little too comfortable, and because of that, we threw an interception that ultimately is going to hurt us. Dunbar, though, speeding, getting hurt, gets sacked yet again. His offensive line has let him down in the second half. 4 wide receiver set this side for Illinois. They're pretty much in chucking mode at this point, just trying to get anybody deep and see if they can catch something. They go low on this one. Dunbar again completes the pass, but Mitchell's going to get brought down. Big play, 3rd and 4. They're going to slide the big fella over. Parker has just been massive so far. They go underneath, but Rutledge and company there to make it 4th and 2. Probably not a room we would get for Baker to see if he can return one here. Hunter's going to do his best to try to get him back here locked up. Baker, though, actually, we're not talking about it. We got a little bit of time left. We're going to try to get one more good drive with this offensive unit, and I think it's going to be led by Stewart. Down on the Stewart have been a pretty good pairing. We haven't really tried too many read options just because we are afraid of McDonald fumbling a little bit more than we would be for Kendrick. Under 3 minutes now. McDonald drops back, sees this guy, Tom Baker. Tom Baker is just having a heck of a game. Over 120 plus yards for him this afternoon. Our goal is to put up as many points as we can because, again, that committee that's voting on who the #1 team in the nation should be, they didn't give us a single vote. We're putting them on notice now. Keeping things moving. McDonald his shotgun. Sees a little bit of pressure, but he does hit Sean Stewart. He gets a big 15-yard grab. Williams comes in this time again. Stewart probably gassed. He's had 4 receptions. He's had over 100 yards rushing. He's been through it all. Williams stays in here in 2nd and 7. Halfback screen looks pretty good with Williams. Again, he's pretty great after run after the catch, and he gets 3 here. 30 passes attempted in a game by one CVU player. Just feels like it hasn't really happened in probably forever. McDonald trying to make sure he can stay alive here. Has a guy, stops, pops, delivers, and Wilson. Mr. Wilson, he's in the building. Game that started out significantly too close. We had multiple players step up, including McDonald, and he gets the player of the game. 412 yards through the air, 4 passing touchdowns. The 5-star athlete honestly looked pretty good tonight. Recapping the game stats again, McDonald 25-31, 400 plus yards, 4 touchdowns, all fantastic. 2 interceptions we don't really love, but again, he's a true freshman and making true freshman-like mistakes, and we'll look past that. On the ground, we see Stewart go for 131 and 2 touchdowns, keeping that Heisman standing afloat. We see Williams chime in for 33. McDonald wasn't really a factor on the ground, but in the air, obviously he was. In the receiving side, Tom Baker has the best game we've seen from a Cascade Valley player, I think, in a very long time. 7 for 135 and a touchdown. Stewart goes for 44. Riley has 82. We see a touchdown by Williams and another touchdown by both Wilson and by George Barrett. No one saw that coming. On defense, true freshman George Fry again makes... this dude's probably a first-team All-American at this point. 9 solo tackles, 2 for loss, 2 sacks to Mel Hill, held 8 out here. We see Stephen Lowe have 5. From a sack perspective, again, 2 by George Fry, 1 by Owens, Mitchell, and by Brown. Interceptions, we had 1 by Harvey and 1 by Tom Baker. Tom Baker was doing it literally all today. You could have given him player of the game as well. Special teams, receiving, defense. The dude was everywhere, just like half of our team. These guys are making plays, and despite all the injuries, despite everyone taking us out of it, we're showing that we are the best team in the nation. Be safe, be smart, tell somebody you love them. Catch you guys on the next one.